Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Art of Awakening. We're coming up into the September Equinox of 2020. And up in the Northern Hemisphere here, we're going into fall. And so I thought I'd invite you to a little hike in the woods, and we'll talk about what to expect with the energies of this season. So, as with all equinoxes, the key word here is balance, because this is the time of year where you've got this equal length of day and night. Okay, and so it's a tipping point. It's a tipping point. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, we're looking at going into this time of year where we're more introspective. And it's sort of like this descending, uh, increasing darkness, right? Sort of a descent into the dark night of winter. I think for this year, it's particularly significant because, we are going through this process of immense change. So as we as we head into the season, I'm not going to mince words. Like, this is tremendous change, and with tremendous change comes often a lot of seeming chaos. Okay, and so the way my guides have phrased it, they said you're heading into a Category 5 storm of deconstruction and reconstruction. Okay, so I don't say this, I'm not saying this to make anybody panic, because we have tremendous power to create change in a very beautiful way. Okay, because as humans, we are creator beings. That is our superpower. As you know, humans are spirit animals too. We're animals too, right? So we've got our own superpowers, just like every creature in the woods here has its own superpowers that help it to survive and thrive, and to hold its place in this beautiful oneness that is all of nature, right? And humans are no exception. We are part of this beautiful tapestry, right, of the universe, and we're a significant part. One of our biggest superpowers, first of all, is our heart, right? Our capacity to love. And another one is our capacity to create. And if you look at everything that humanity has done up until now, and even realizing that in a lot of ways we've been out of balance, right? But if you can just kind of step back and look at it as an observer and just be astonished at the amazing capacity that we do have as human beings, to create a new reality. And at this juncture, it's really time to start to really take a look at and wake up to the fact that we can choose the reality, right? And yes, a lot of what has been created so far has been aligned with the old matrix, the control matrix, and all that, and that's why we are, are experiencing this kind of struggle and chaos. But we also have it within ourselves, and especially as we open our hearts to begin to align our immense creative powers to harmonize with the beautiful, natural world that we're in, and to create something just absolutely spectacularly not only beautiful but enhancing of life. And so that's what I want to just bring forward here. We still have this juncture, right? And in this process of change, what's kind of coming forward is that we've got two different spirals going on here. Okay, spirals of change, spirals of evolution. One is this negative downward spiral, okay? And this is the creative will that's being harnessed to the old control matrix, and that's really sucking away at life, right? And it's just bringing us down into a big toilet bowl of a downward spiral. And the other is the upward ascending spiral, okay? And this is the natural, this is creation as it's aligned with nature, okay? As it's aligned with the creative force of the universe, with spirit. At this time in the collective, we've got both of these different energies at work, right? The descending spiral, and we're seeing that coming forward a lot right now. And the reason we're seeing it so much is because the ascending spiral is growing, okay? And it's becoming, because we've been for a long time sort of on this long downward slant, right? Towards basically kind of destroying the planet. But now we've got this upward one that's moving and strengthening more and more. what's happening then is it's bringing this all up to the front, right? And um, I just want to say that within ourselves, each of us as humans who are coming out of the old control matrix, we've all been enmeshed in that downward spiral. And those of us who are awakening and becoming more aligned with light on the ascension path, we're aligning more and more with our own inner upward spiral, right? But each of us, we're all dealing with both these energies, okay? And so this is coming forward in the collective a lot. And so a lot of this chaos that we're seeing is just this, you know, this almost clash of energies that's happening, right? It's like this whirlwind. It's a big storm. And what I want to kind of bring to your attention is that we can, through the inner work, bring ourselves to the eye of the storm. Okay, and this is an area of great power, because when you are in this eye of the storm, and that's cultivating stillness within yourself, it's cultivating that ability to listen to that inner voice. Okay, when you come to that point of stillness, it's like 0 point, right? Then you can operate from the eye of the storm, and whatever action you take is going to have immense capacity to influence what's going on around, okay, and to help to shift the entire collective, whether it's you yourself, right, and but in anchoring yourself into this beautiful stillness, then you help to become an anchor for those around you. You don't have to think about that. It just happens automatically, okay? And so this is being an anchor of light in the world, okay? And then you start listening to the guidance, and it will tell you what to do next, right? Because we all have a role to play in creating a new reality, right? We're all creators. We're creating a new reality. And so this coming season is really important, because I've noticed there's kind of two groups of people amongst the amongst everybody. Okay, there are those who are more aligned with that upward spiral, and it doesn't mean that they're quote unquote awakened, right? Not everybody is, but there's a couple different awakenings going on. One is the awakening of, oh, I realize that I'm, working with the spirit, and I'm seeing synchronicities, and I'm having all these experiences. The other is an awakening that isn't always conscious, but it's an awakening to this upward spiral, or an alignment with the spiral, okay? And so there are plenty of people on the planet that aren't quote unquote woke, right? That are, nevertheless, they're on the ascension plane, they're on this upward spiral. There are plenty of other people too that are woke, right, who are still on this descending spiral. And there's plenty of people, there's a faction of people out there that are actively practicing dark magic and so forth. That is part of that descending spiral. Okay, so if you are kind of playing with the dark magic things, just know that it ultimately leads to just really sucking away all your life force. It may seem like it's giving you power, but it's really sucking it away. And when it has sucked away all the power from you, it just kind of leaves you to die. You're on the ascending spiral. That's the healing spiral, and that is bringing your power back into you and really aligning it to your true inner power, right? And this is the enhancement. And so what can we do in this present moment for this upcoming season to prepare? Because there is a lot of potential chaos, about to unfold, right? And so if you are more on the ascending spiral, then you may have noticed your life really starting to come together in magical ways. Okay, this is what I call the miracle zone. If you're a little bit more on the descending spiral, you may be feeling yourself really caught up in a lot of chaos. And just know, wherever you are, it's okay, it's part of the process. But there's this, and the other thing is that I've been told is that within that descending spiral, in the middle of it is a very strong updraft to get you to the ascension spiral. Okay, so if you're feeling yourself very, very caught up in chaos, know that The more you can just kind of relax into what's going on with you, there is a very strong pull to the ascension spiral. For some people, that is that is what it takes to get on the ascension, having to go down and experience that dark night of the soul, so that you can hit that updraft and come back up. But I also want to let you know that at this juncture, we've kind of crossed over to this thing where the idea that you have to experience this dark night of the soul, that's part of the old control matrix. That's part of the 3D world. I mean, to really, for a lot of people, if you're really caught up in that 3D world, yeah, you've got to go through that dark night of the soul. That's the way out. But we're also, the world is uplifted to the point where if you're awakened to it, if you're aware, we can start choosing, rather than going all the way down, we can start choosing at any time to start stepping onto that ascension spiral. Okay? So it's a matter of free will. Our free will as a collective is being more and more liberated. And so this is a call to all of us, who have reached a certain level of awareness, to really consciously start thinking about what are we going to create, okay? To step into our power, our role as divine creators in the world right now, okay? And this means that we can actively step forward and start imagining what is it that we want to create? What is it that we would like to see in the world? What's this beautiful world that we want to see? What does it look like? Start imagining that. And once we envision something as powerful creators, and once we start to envision and expect it, it starts to bring it into being. In the meantime, we can, so there's two things. One, we can start to envision a new reality, but we also need to get through this next phase of chaos, or potential chaos that could be coming our way, right? And remember that miracles can and do happen, and as we move more and more to the miracle zone, we're going to see that more. But um, we are still working through this, so this could be an interesting few months ahead. What are some ways that we can prepare ourselves for this season, so that we can help to stay in that centered state, to keep ourselves in the eye of the storm? Okay, and one of these is real simple. It's just get out in nature, okay? So if you haven't been getting out in nature, I really, really encourage you to do that. It's just incredibly healing, right? And that's why I wanted to do this video here with you and bring you in the woods here, because it's just, there's nothing like actually being immersed in nature. If you can't actually get out into nature, bring something of nature in with you. Even if you're in the city, you can walk around a city block, you can see dandelions or like weeds pushing through, enjoy that, okay? Or even just looking up at the sky and looking up at the sun. Wherever you are, you can look up at the sky and just give thanks, that we're here, that we're, being supported. Just a little bit of sunbathing every day is beautiful, beautiful way to connect with nature. Um, okay, so that's number one. Number two here is, there's a chakra called the Earth Star chakra, okay? And this is located about 12 inches, 9 to 12 inches below your feet. And it's in what they call an interpersonal chakra. So it's one that's, we each have it like personally, but it's also somewhat of a collective, right? So it's very similar to your own root chakra, but it's sort of like a second root chakra that really connects you with earth and connects you, through the earth to all of humanity, right? To everyone. So it's a beautiful chakra to work with. If you haven't been working with it, I really, really suggest, sending some energy there, right? Spending some time with that Earth Star chakra. One thing that I love to do is breathe from the heart and through that chakra down to the heart of Mother Earth and back up, or you can breathe from your Earth Star chakra down to the heart of Earth and back up, and just working with that. But there's other ways to work with it. You can Google it. Earth Star chakra is a wonderful, wonderful chakra to work with to help to keep us grounded and centered and at peace in challenging times. Okay, so number three is actually really preparing for hard times, right? Or preparing for times where we may not have all the conveniences. So this may or may not happen. It may happen in your area or not. But really consider feeling into, well, what are you going to need in the next few months? What's going to get you through winter? So maybe a little bit of extra food or something, just in case. What is going to keep your mind happy, right? Maybe stock up on a few books or something, and what's going to keep you emotionally on the up and up. Okay, whether it's uplifting essential oils or beautiful art on the walls or something like that. Think about what can you bring into your home to help you stay emotionally, and physically and mentally alive and well engaged, okay, and spiritually as well. Do you have an altar set up? Whatever it is, figure out your spiritual practices, your go-to practices, whether it's spiritual, whether it's to keep your mind sane, whether it's to keep your emotions on a level even keel, or whether it's to physically keep your body well. And if you need to stock up on some of these things or consider what you're going to set up in your home, this is a really, really good time to do that. So preparation for the winter and whatever that means to you. And finally, another thing that's been told to me is like, train yourself to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay, and it doesn't sound fun, but this is what every successful person does, who is able to get through challenging times and really turn those challenging times into advantage. Okay, this is the warrior path. This is the path of the leader, right? The inner king. Okay, getting comfortable in zones of discomfort. Okay, what does that mean? Well, we can do that physically. We can do that with our mind work, right? We can do that, even emotionally tends to happen to us. But so practices such as yoga, right, that work with the body and mind. And in particular, I find a couple types of yoga that really work with this, that I've experienced, is yin yoga, which really works with getting into that stillness, which can be deeply uncomfortable, right? And it works with both body and mind to kind of relax into that discomfort. And Kundalini yoga is another one, helping to just work with both body and mind to move through discomfort in finding that inner peace. Other ways to do it is intermittent fasting. Fasting is another way that works with the body as well as the mind. Cold showers. It sounds horrible, but if you look up Wim Hof, if you don't know Wim Hof already, and some of his practices that he teaches are excellent for this. And what any kind of practice like this does is it makes you stronger, and it helps you to navigate change and to navigate any kind of adversity that may come your way, and stay in that state of peace so that you can anchor in peace and anchor in calmness and stillness, because the world so desperately needs that. There's a lot of other things that we could be touching on, but I think this is long enough. So thank you for joining me. And if you have any suggestions or comments for how you plan to work with the energies of the equinox and to prepare for the upcoming season, please put them in the comments below. It might help somebody else. Also, I'd like to give you a heads up that I will be offering an event, and this may be actually a series of regular events to help us to use our creative powers to help to align with our inner voice, and both to prepare ourselves for whatever may come our way and to start to envision and create this better world. Look for that. I'll be setting up that event. It will be by donation, so accessible to anyone. And so I'll be giving you a little bit more information very soon on that. Hope you have a lovely day, and we'll catch you again soon.